From getting up a dozen times during the night to not remembering jack shit, growing old just sucks the big D. And since I'm an old fuck, I'm going to let you all in on what to expect as you get old. And just as a side note, I know for a fact there's some of you young ones out there, you're dumb enough to think they don't have to worry about something so lame as growing old. And just so you know, I'm kind of laughing at you. Now, anybody out there that has never experienced death, I'm telling you, you will. My first brush with death was the loss of a good friend, followed almost immediately by the death of a very close cousin, both dying in motorcycle accidents. It might be that your particular experience with death was one of your grandparents. The deadly point here is that as you grow older, you start attending more and more funerals. That, my friends, I promise, is in your future. I also need to talk to you about the more mundane things like having to wear adult diapers. But first, we need to talk about time. Now you ain't gonna believe me, but ask anybody that's old and wrinkled, and they'll set you straight. You're gonna go to bed one night as a vibrant young thing with hair on your head and skin still taut and tight over your bones. And the very next morning, you're gonna wake up old and wrinkled with thin hair and a pot belly. You're gonna ask yourself, what the hell happened? It literally happens that fast, my friends. That's a promise. One of the most important topics to talk about when it comes to growing old is, of course, sex. And for all those who don't know this, after 35, you don't have sex anymore because everything just quits working. And that's why that demographic has the highest visits to porn sites. Now, I know you're thinking Viagra if you're a man, and that you'll be plowing gardens till you're old and wrinkled. But that ain't necessarily the truth, because the only gardens you'll be playing in are old and dried up, like leather. And if you're a woman, well, women just get tired of all the games and basically give up on men and sex by the time they're 40. But enough of that. Let's talk wrinkles and gray hair. And for some unknown reason, there are people out there that think gray hair is a mark of intelligence. And we owe that to old Albert. And I'm guessing that there's idiots that consider each and every little fold in their skin a mark of something special, like living through tough times. I ain't gonna say nothing, but that's all bull. Being nice, comforting lies to cover up the fact that you're growing old. Now, one of the most mystifying aspects of growing old is you start shrinking. That's right. You actually get smaller as you grow old because your bones shrink and lose density. And that's why old people can't walk upright anymore. And yes, it ain't an old wives' tale that men and women devolve with age, being more like little children when they are responsible adults with 1,000 years of experience. Maybe that's why I feel less than human. Leastways, that's why I'm treated by the young ones around me like I'm just a stupid old big ape that don't know anything anymore. Then again, I get why I'm treated that way by the young ones. It does take me a couple of minutes to fully understand what someone's talking about, and that's a result. First, due to a loss of hearing. The second is trying to comprehend what I'm hearing. So if you're struggling to understand what I'm talking about, yeah, you're old like me. Now, if you haven't been paying attention, the bottom line is growing old is part and parcel of not only being alive, but of existing in a world where everything decays in a specific time frame. And speaking of time frames, it's about time for a thick, juicy steak that I gotta eat in my dreams, because when you get old, you got no teeth to eat with, and your supper consists of the same oatmeal you had for breakfast, but has been reheated. So there's that. No, I'm somewhat aware I haven't touched on all the golden glory years of growing old, being useless and decrepit, but let me just tell you, if you got anything to add, just say so in the comments. I'm listening with this newfangled hearing aid I got. You know, it's just about a year ago that I was sailing the Caribbean off on a cruise. That's something else that happens as you get old. You get a little bit more financially stable and you can do things like that. Okay, you can do it when you're young too, but why go in debt? That's my 2 cents. Oh, that's where I got this beautiful shot glass from. Somewhere in the Caribbean. The Bahamas it was, a little shop. Yeah, tequila is 720. You know, growing old, we all grow old differently. I mean, just because this person has is all hunched over and walks weird doesn't mean the next person is. But our fates, they're all the same. We all know where we're going to end up, no matter how we get there. Everybody's journey is a little bit different. Something to ponder as you're growing old and older. And I just turned 67 2 days ago. Yeah, and I had enough tequila to drink then, and I got enough left to finish up a couple of more of these after vlogs today. And with that, I love you. I'm out of here, my friends. Enjoy your day. And don't worry too much about growing old. Because we got no control over shit like that. Right, I'm out of here with that little tidbit of knowledge. Now, anybody out there that has never experienced death, I'm telling you, you will. My